Hi everyone, it's Caroline. I'm doing day 3, December the 3rd. That's where we are right now. And I'm not going to be sharing every single day because sometimes I turn the camera on late at night to do this. So I'm going to be here and there, but here's day 3 and I almost forgot to record it, but all I did here was I'm layering some scrap papers. This is a paper that you might recognize if you watched my toilet tube boxes. I was practicing and I thought, well, this would be perfect for one of the days, and I thought today would be the day to share that. I also did some scrappy sewing just in my scrap jar, so I thought I'd use that because I see the colors here are, you know, the same patina, and I'd like to use some white. I love this. This is in my handmade paper, this little purple heart. It's not a heart, it's a scrap that's in the paper, but I like the way it looks like a heart, so I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. And I can keep this and just do some layering. A child's letter from my mom's stash. Oh, and that's the other thing I'm going to do. I am going to be using this lady here. I printed the photo so that I could make some copies of it, and I'm going to use her, I think, just as a paper doll. Here's a picture of someone's home, and it says winter, so the owner wrote it down, and I thought that would be fun. Maybe not on this page, but in this book. So thanks for joining me, and I'm just hiding the other page because I did finish it, and I just don't want to be distracted, and I thought it'd be fun just to keep it when I do the flip through. So I'm using up scraps. Oh, here it is. I like this. This will be over the edge of this page here. This was also in the, this is actually somebody's name, Spooner. And it's funny because I went to school with Spooner, and so did our kids, but that's a very popular name. So I thought this would be kind of fun in here, maybe with something else on it. I get so excited using scraps, don't you? And that would be fun on here. Oh, a little ruffle maybe. Maybe this could be the tab. I don't really need her name. Maybe her first name. That could be Lydia. I don't know if it is. Everything's all over the place in the photo album. More scraps. Glued that. I actually stapled these little things, and I'm going to use this sponge sugar just on the edge here. Pretty pink hue, and that's fun. I don't even mind all this is from the photo album, the original photo album. I'm going to journal on there. So now I have to find, I'm just going to put these down. Top, this is going here, just like that. This is original paper that has, I've already torn into it, so I'm not going to do any more than that. And I'm going to have this overhanging here, so I don't need anything up there. Well, I thought I was going to use that as a tab, didn't I say that? And now I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be a journaling card somewhere over here. Keep that heart, I think that's cute. Because this is a letter from the heart. And I've adorned it with some practice reindeer. So we have very similar colors here. Maybe something down here. Actually, that would look good down here. She needs to be standing on something. And she can be here, and then I need to put something in front. Just digging into my little button jar. This one just has some random buttons. I'm using them up. And I'm going to choose those 2 buttons. She's going to go on the card. I'm going to use the back of this. can only look at it for so long. You have to make a decision. So now I've got glue all over her, and she's still not going to be standing on anything, so I'm going to use the lace as just a little ruffle or a little covering. So she's going to go over here in front of her house. Just making up a story because I don't know the story, so let's just make it up. Stick. I don't know if it's going to work with the glue stick. This is pretty strong stuff though. So cool that I came across this. Well, I've added a little bit of gesso, a piece of lace, and then my little journaling card. I'm not sure how I wanted to put this in here, so I'm going to use a piece of the same cotton fabric. I'm going to make a little hinge, or like a little tape. Just going to do a little flicking. Have some snowflakes and my little flip that shows my journaling. And I just like the way it all blends in a little bit better. I ended up making her bigger, so she's just doesn't seem to fade back into the page. And I think I like that a lot better. And that is December 3rd. It is December the 6th, and I'm working on my December 6th page, just putting this for some protection in case I do some gluing and painting. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is I pulled out this card was to my mom from myself and my husband, and this was 2011. I'm going to use this card. I love the colors, and I think it's the right size. I also have, I just printed this off. This is from the Digital Collage Club. I printed this off because I thought it was pretty. I don't think I'm going to use it today, but I also used, so that I wouldn't waste the page, I shrunk down a picture that I had taken of, these are beads that my mom had given me. And then this is just a picture, a recent picture of our view from our porch sky. So I'm going to cut those out, and I'll probably use that somewhere. I don't know if I'll use the porch sky, but I'll use the picture of the beads with the pink background. I just shrunk it down in size because when I'm printing something off, if I don't think it's going to take the whole page up, I like to use other pictures so I don't waste all the paper. Well, that will be used somewhere. Love the color variations there. That is untouched. All my photos from my porch are untouched. Love that one. That was last week. And then this one I will use. Yeah, so we're not getting any mail. I'm not able to send any mail out. As you know, that's our saga right now, so I'll use that too. And then I have this lace in my lace jar, my scrappy lace jar. This card is going to take up the whole space. I'm going to trim it down. It's already been bent and folded quite a few times. So I think I'll use my ruler. As I said, I wanted to make my December 6th page before I get started in my day. I can definitely use, take some off here on the bottom. I'll keep that. It's pretty pink. It has snowflakes on it. And it's still too wide, so I can trim that down a little bit. That's better. I was going to use this to make like a little connection, and then I can flip it up. I think that's what I'll do there. And then I can put my sentiment part of the card. I want to leave all that, and I can put this in here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to sew it, and what else did I have? Oh yes, I had this photo. This was pretty. I have a few things that I've taken out. I have this scrap piece of letter with some tape on it, and I cut apart my sentiment page. So I'm going to I'm going to glue it on. That's fun. Okay, so that's that one. Then on here, I was thinking, I'm not sure what to do with this card yet. I don't know if I want to keep it in its full form. I want to use these because we both have a love for birds, and she had many birds. She had holly in her garden, so I think this is quite appropriate. It's just winter time. I love this, but I'm not sure how to use it yet. And I don't know if I want to keep this whole card either. So I'm just going to try and play around with the construction of this, the assemblage. I am just collaging these pages. Like that. This could be in here. I could also take this apart and glue it over this side. I am taking some of these scraps and putting them down on the page. Just doing some layers with some scraps. And I think what I'll do is, instead of put down the whole page to the base, I'll leave it open in case I want to tuck something in. I'm going to have a lot of tuck spots, just lots of layers, using up the scraps. This was a scrap from an old envelope that I used in a couple different areas. And I have this corner tuck, and I can use that up here. This was for something else, from another scrap piece of paper. And then I don't really need that there. Oh, and then I took one of the strips of the card, and I just backed up. I backed up this little. I sewed on my piece of lace, but just to the one side. And now what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to glue that down. So this was just to use my scraps, little collage, to put something down on the page. I can still see my handmade paper, which is fun. I can use this as a tuck spot if I want. Now I have this that I wasn't sure how I was going to use this, but I will insert it like this, and it just sits there. it does fit in there pretty nicely. But if I have other letters or other things to put in here, I can. While my page is drying, I am using the extra strip from the card, from the front of the card, and I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to sew it on. Continuing to use my scraps, I'm going to put a little bit of the glue stick, and I'll put this over here. And then on this one, I added the leftover piece of this lace to put it on my little, I don't know what we're going to call this little item here. And I'm not even sure where this is going to go yet. Put this in here. I like that idea. On the edge like that, although that would be too much maybe. Because I want to keep this on the inner edge of the card. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it over here on this edge, and the birds will go together. I just found this. Thank you for always being there for me, which completely is my sentiment for this. All these beautiful things. All the gifts, all the love, everything. The whole idea for this was to put a Christmas card in that I have saved from, that I gave to my mom in 2011, and this is the card. And I added a piece of lace and sewed it on. Took the card apart, put the lace on it, and then I used all the little bits of scraps that I took off of the edge of the card so that it would fit on the page. And I made, with this printable that I have, I added these little pictures to the back of one of the pieces, and I added this to the tab, and then attached it to the edge here, and then I added this. Just made a seam with the sewing machine, and there's nothing on the inside. It just acts as a little holder. So then you go inside, and I found, it was close to the card, and I have these documents, and this is when my mom and dad came back to Canada from Germany, from Berlin, after I was born, and it's just the documentation of all the papers that were needed. And so that's all the information there. So it has my mom's name and it has my name on it with my date of birth and where I was born. So that's going to stay in here. And this keeps it in here with the paper clip. And this paper clip is from my dad's office, so this is an older one. It's a fun one to have. I still have some of those paper clips. And then on here, all I did was I collaged some of my scraps from my pile. I took the sentiment of the card, I took it off and I just put it together, added this scrappy piece of masking tape on a piece of old book page, and then I added my, goes this way, my journaling. That's what I wanted to say. And that's it. How fun. I just didn't know how this was going to turn out, but I really like it. It's nice and fluffy. Thanks everyone for joining me today. I hope you are inspired. I hope you are having a great day. Until the next time, be adventurous and stay cozy. See you soon. Bye for now.